trying to work out. I mean, there's a load of bikes with orange vests on them, but that's got to be Keaton Leatherland already sprinting away to a healthy lead. See Steve Dent there on the grid saying, watch the flag, you boys and girls. Oh, creepy Damien, don't you go set that clutch just yet. And you're right, Peter Feller's missing. Who's going to get the jump here? Oh, again, poor old Hayden Smith. He's not getting any luck getting off the line, is he?
He needs some TZ leaving the line instructions.
Yeah.
I think the next time I see him.
You got that one sus, you reckon?
Well, yeah, there's a zero mechanical sympathy option if you want to get one of these off the line, I'll tell you.
Well, we go back to the fact that the trouble is the parts that for these bikes have often been sitting on the shelves for over 20 years as well, so just natural aging.
Well, yeah, with the starting though, it's because it's got such high first gearing, like all the road bands. Plus, don't forget, poor Hayden, he's been riding like all sorts of different bikes this weekend.
Yes.
So the four strokes will pull away completely differently to that bike.
Yeah, and it's only got a tool first gear as well, just to add to your misery, basically. That makes it great coming out of a hairpin or something when you've actually got a bit of momentum behind you, but you've got to wait until then. So the 600s into the Heineken hoop. Well, out of the Heineken hoop comes Keaton Leatherland. So what do we reckon? 3 or 4 seconds is going to be his advantage at the end of the first race?
3 to 3.5, something like that.
Absolutely flying. Really is the class of the field, tucked in tight. Orange vest floating in the breeze. I'm surprised you're not seeing him out in the Clublands already, actually, because you think that is where he can get some extra track time. And oh no, he's not 3, 4, 5 seconds lead from a standing start. That is remarkable. It really is. Morris there is in second place, and he actually has got a 4-second advantage over Wright. Roche is another second or so behind. So talk about spread out the field. The only battle amongst those guys is the one for 9th place between Brown and Hall. Everybody else has got a huge gap between them, and we are to
do we know
red flag? I'm just hearing on the radio in the background there, mate. I think let's just get confirmation. Yeah, no, there we go.
Yeah, the lights are on. Yeah, red flag. Where are we looking for that?
Not sure, mate. Not sure at
See if we can see anything on.
We get ready for the second start here now. All eyes on that little TZ number 25, Hayden Smith. Let's see.
How brutal is he going to be?
Looked good before. This time the revs rise and away we go.
Not too bad.
Getting better. Definitely. He's not gone backwards.
No, there was no hopping or slowing or anything. That's much better. He could
well be second into Redgate, actually, behind Sean Crone, I think. Yeah, he's done a good job there. He's got off the line nicely.
I noticed him practicing his overtakes on the warm-up lap just now, so it won't be long, I think, before he sticks one over on Sean Crone.
Excellent. Jake Donkersley also away with that leading group. That's the battle of the 2 and the 4 strokes in the Open 500 class as the 600s make their way up towards Schwantz. Actually, no, they'll be through Schwantz up to Coppers already, of course. They'll be back with us in view very shortly indeed, and we'll be able to work out just how much of a gap Keaton Leatherland has already got. Yep, Keaton just proving why he was our rider of the day yesterday. Absolutely flying down into the Heineken hoop. And there are only 9 of the original 12 machines out there by the look of it in the 600s.
Possibly some of those guys were involved in the stoppage.
I think so. I think that might well have been the case. I think it was a 600 stoppage over the line. Then goes Leatherland. Let's see how much of a gap he's got this time. And no, it's only a 3.5 second gap. So actually that would possibly explain, to be fair, why there was a 5 second gap from Leatherland to everybody else, but then there was a 5 second gap between second and third as well.
Possibly coming together in the
I think there's something in the mix there.
In the Poggy S's, which made those big gaps. Okay.
That may well be the reason, because they are certainly a lot closer this time as we wait for the Open 500s to come out of Goddard's, and in fine form, tucked in as tight as he dares. That is indeed Sean Crone leading Hayden Smith. No, Jake Donkersley actually. No, it's just Smith, then Donkersley. And Damien Lee comes across the line in 4th place ahead of Adam Sheriff. So it's our TZR 250 types getting a second race. All good for them.
Yes.
And already Leatherland is up to the first split just before Coppers there. And inevitably he goes purple, a couple of seconds quicker than anybody else as he goes on his winning way.
Ian Davis was the YPM guy you just mentioned. There was the yellow flag infringement in the race yesterday.
Okay, but we didn't get any curb jumpers, no?
We did. We got Sean Crone, who's managed that wonderful
yes,
four.
He was the four-time. He's in the four club.
And Camille Gayou.
So fair play. Four transgressions in a 5-lap race on one corner. That's transgressing a lot, really.
Maybe there was one on the way into the foggy S's and one on the way out, perhaps.
You've got to think that can't improve your lap time. You clump on the curb and
Maybe he just went straight through the gravel trap and out the other side.
Leatherland then over the line. Then this is the man, of course, who holds the lap record here with a 39.084.
And he's on the 40.6 at the moment.
Okay, so a mere 0.8 of a second away from his own lap record on the opening lap. Definitely a good start to what I'm sure is going to be a total challenge from him. Roche in second, goes past on Hall. Then we've got Wright, Morris, Hargreaves. Goff gets passed by Hargreaves there. Vale stays where he is, waiting for Sean Crone to come and join us.
He's just coming round the last corner now.
Opening up the gap between himself and Smith.
It looks
by
that
the look
way,
of it, it was
it?
about 0.9 last time. It's now gone out to 2.2. So Sean Crone definitely doing the business here in the Open 500 class, ahead of Jake Donkersley now. Watch the rest of them come over.
That's a ZX4RR Sean Crone's on.
It is indeed, yes.
Yeah. If it's the RR, because that's the
latest and greatest,
the race version, if you like, of that bike. It's got some significant power increase over the stock bike, along with some other stuff, better suspension. I believe it comes with the Kawasaki's kit system with a blipper and a shifter built into the ignition system and stuff like that, and possibly it might have slightly better suspension, but I'd need to look that up.
Okay, so why can't it go as quick as an old ZXR 400 Kawasaki?
I was talking, you remember the one, I don't know if you remember the one I used to ride, but I was talking to the owner of that, because he lives in his front room, and I just happened to point out that would be quite eligible for the class as it is, because when that bike went to Thundersport, because their rules were different, you could run a 450, so he then bought it out to 440 and so on and so forth.
Yes,
be quite eligible for this Open 500
it would,
class.
actually, you're right, yeah.
And he went wittering off about maybe getting it refreshed and so on and so forth. So you might see that later. And
so,
then we'll have the proper.
Who would be peddling that? Would he want
I don't know who he'd want to get that out on there.
Is he capable of peddling it along himself quite happily?
No, he could stick me on it.
Yes, interesting. Yeah, because I hadn't thought about that, because that was a popular overbore at one stage. I do remember being aboard a 400 Kawasaki, an alleged 400 Kawasaki, and being told to kick the revs to a certain limit, so nothing was too obvious. I don't know, I'm just riding the bike. And then one of our rival teams went past me with a certain clerk of the course on board, went flying past me. I thought, well, if we're cheating, what the hell are they doing?
Well,
I think a Kawasaki 400 was a very nominal number back in the KRC days.
When we went to 440 with that bike to go to Thundersport, we couldn't find any pistons because there'd been an issue with the piston ring gap being made too small by, I think it's JHA or somebody that make the pistons. Right. So there was a duff batch of pistons and no pistons anywhere. And someone suggested ringing Bob Farnham, who was down in Kent at the time. Yes. He now lives overseas, Thailand, something like that. As he might be able to supply a set, and he had a set on the shelf. And he said, well, yeah, I've got this set, but it's for someone's refresh. But if he says you can have them, you can have them. So they asked whose it was, and it was someone who bought the bike that we were competing against the year before. So it's like, red flag.
Yeah. Heard a few stories like that. The Isle of Man as well. Anyway, let's concentrate on this race, which is Keaton Litherland, who is, well, he's making it quite boring anyway, isn't he, really? 12.5 seconds is now his advantage over Roche. Hall there in third place is a further 2 and a bit seconds back or so.
I think he might have had some back marker action on the last lap, because nearly 2 seconds slower on that last lap.
Such is the pace of Keaton Leatherland. He hasn't cracked the magic 39 bracket yet. Oh, a bit more chatter on the radio. I wonder if that's Mr. Crone bouncing over the curbs once again.
Well, he's managing to keep his gap, but what is that gap
2.5
between him
seconds
and
Smith?
Ooh, well, if he has been transgressing, then that 3 second penalty is going to give Hayden Smith the
hurt
win.
him. In fact, actually looking at yesterday, he basically handed the race to Jake Donkersley because he lost 12 seconds and the difference at the end of the race was 8.5 seconds. So he handed 25 points to Jake Donkersley yesterday.
Okay.
So yeah, that does make a bit of a transgression error. Camille Guillot, I don't think lost out too badly, but yeah, certainly a 3-second transgression. That seems to be quite a penalty. Yep, good little battle coming across the line there. Again, it's for the minor placings between Harvey, Guillot and Bainborough. But those folks are all separated by a couple of tenths of a second, so good little scrap, albeit for the very minor placing, but obviously there's a personal pride thing going on here as Leatherland comes across the line, so he's going to have some more back markers to contend with as he goes on to this. Is the last lap, but it's obviously a 6-lap race due to that red flag earlier in the event. Oh, side-by-side stuff between the couple of the rookies there, the 600s. That's
Hall and Morris, that was, I believe.
Yep, that's the ones. A little bit further back, Wright is over the line there. Comfortable gap between himself and Hargreaves. But Keaton Leatherland, definitely the find of the season as far as the 600s go. Really is pouring on the power there. So Crone, I'm hoping the trouble is we don't get to see the transgressions until after the race. But certainly Sean Crone is looking good for the win at this stage as far as we're concerned. There goes Hayden across the line in second. And he's keeping that gap to
It's gone up 0.2 of a second. So if he gets another 0.2 in this lap, then he might get his penalty if he's got one and still win the race.
Yeah,
happy days.
Yeah, it would be very happy days. We're not saying he has got a penalty, by the way. We're just saying he was a bit of a serial offender yesterday, I think is a polite way to put that. So he would have got a bit of a shock when he saw the result sheet, of course. Damien Lee has gone up to third place or stays in third place, I should say, in the Open 500s on his TZR 250 as he goes past one of the 600s. So a little bit of mixing and matching between the two classes there. I'm not quite sure how many people Lyndon Leatherland has passed, but I can see a couple of people who I think are more than a lap down as we get ready to get the checkered flag out.
There he goes to take the checkered flag.
He's in Leatherland. Very impressive stuff indeed from the rookie rider.
Here comes Sean Crone to take the win in the Open 500 class. Yeah, there he comes. Takes the checkered flag.
Well done, Sean.
Let's just see what the distance is, just in case it matters later, between him and Hayden Smith. Where is Hayden Smith actually?
Okay, he should have been 2.5 seconds later.
Not here. Okay, maybe a mechanical
dropping down the order there because Jake Donkersley's just come across the line in second place.
Have a quick look on the cameras.
Let's see if there's
anyone pushing any bikes through the dirty bit. Oh, okay. That may be a broke down and parked it somewhere then, by the looks of it, because we can't see any martial action at the moment.
No. Looks like a quick trip in the van of shame, unfortunately, for Hayden there and his little Lucky Strike Yamaha.
Well, that's a shame. All that talk about 3-second penalties
comes to absolutely nothing at all. Yeah, because if he did get a single transgression, then that certainly would hurt Mr. Crone's progress there, because he has finished. Let's see if we can work this out. That's 5, 6 or 7 seconds I think he's got, so he'd have to have a good few penalties before he loses out too badly. We know